All right, guys, so I'm going to try to make this quick. This is basically my crypto thesis for the investment. You can do with this information what you want. It's completely up to you whether you want to put money into this stuff. It's on you. I'm just going to give you the information so you're aware of what's going on, okay? So we have the S&P 500, basically top 500 companies. These are the bigger cap the bigger cap companies, okay? So essentially what happens is money gets pushed into these companies, and that's where you have an all-time high forming here on the S&P 500, right? Then you move into the more riskier stuff, which is the Nasdaq, right? So these are going to be like tech stocks and things like that. As you can see, this also made a new all-time high. Okay, so people put money in the S&P, a little bit riskier. People start putting money in the Nasdaq, and then the next riskiest thing is the Russell. So this is the small cap coin, the small cap stocks. You can see we haven't made a new high on this yet, but if you look on the last 6 months, just today and yesterday, we got a nice little spike up, okay, back up to this top. So what we are looking for is for the Russell to make new prices, make new price action. If you look back here, 2020, when this broke the high and this went up into 2021, this was basically the crypto bull market. Because once this starts making new all-time highs, the next riskiest thing is crypto. So if we go to crypto and we look at the others is basically everything excluding the top 10. So this is not Bitcoin, Ethereum, take stable coins out, Solana, Chainlink, all the other top coins. This is all like the small altcoin caps. Okay, so this is where we are right now. And this was last season or last cycle. As you can see, you have the green, it flipped red, and then it went on a run. Okay, so we have the green, the red, and then hopefully if it flips green again, we go on a run. Okay, now let's go back and see how many days it was. I'm going to tell you right now, it was 100 days roughly from the time that this flips green to the top. Oops, I'm sorry. Basically, from the time this flips green to the very top is about 100 days. And the same exact thing happened basically last cycle as well. The cycle before that, you have this green, it flipped red, and as soon as it flipped green, this is 100 days to the top as well. So what we're looking for is for this to hopefully flip green sometime in September, and around December we'll have a nice top there. If you want, I can even overlay the last two cycles, 2017 and 2020. This is basically exactly where we are and where we should be, and then we'll have our 100-day run up. And so knowing that, and this crypto market is basically repeating the last two cycles almost exactly the same. Let's move on to Richard Hart. Now, Richard Hart is the creator of Hex. He launched this coin in 2020, and it did a 10,000x from the bottom. Now, how did it do a 10,000x from the bottom? Well, he raised Ethereum as a pre-sale. So basically, people sent him Ethereum. Roughly, the Ethereum was worth around $200 at the time. And he took all that Ethereum. He had around 150,000 Ethereum. And he basically held that Ethereum until the high of the Ethereum. And I'll explain that to you in a second. Now, Richard Hart, he created Pulse Chain, which is a copy of Ethereum. And when he got that copy of Ethereum, we sent him basically money as a sacrifice, and he took all that money, he converted it into 170,000 Ethereum. So he has 170,000 Ethereum right now. Okay, but let's go into history and see what he did with Hex with the 150,000 Ethereum. So this is the ETH chart, Ethereum chart, right? So he got the Ethereum roughly around this time here, late 2019, early 2020. He basically held that Ethereum all the way to the top here, sold the Ethereum, and rotated it into Hex. Now, if I put the Hex chart here, you can see right at this top where he started selling the Ethereum, that is when Hex started making its run, because he basically started selling the Ethereum, rotating it into Hex, and Hex did, I think, from that point, if I remember correctly, I think it was about a 100x return from the time that Ethereum was topping out. If you go all the way up, yeah, so it did like a 160x return from that point. So knowing that, and that he has Ethereum now, that 170,000 Ethereum would be worth around $1.2 billion when Ethereum is $7,000. So now if you look at Hex today, obviously it's all the way down here, but it's only got $8.4 million on the ask side of liquidity. Now, how these things work is if you 10 times how much money you put into it, so let's say you put $90 million into here, it will 100x the price. And he's going to have $1.2 billion worth at $7,200 Ethereum. And it only is going to take 90 million to pump this coin up 100x return. And he says right here, I saved so many people from doom. Now I'm going to do it again. This is when the Pulse Chain sacrifice and PulseX sacrifice started happening. So essentially, this is after he already pumped Hex and he started creating this new project. And he's basically saying, I'm going to do exactly what I did to the Hex chart last time with the Ethereum I have this time. Okay, so do with that information as you will. However you want to use this info. If you want to buy it, go for it. If not, I don't care. Okay, I'm just giving you the information that you have the S&P 500, the Nasdaq. Now the Russell is starting to come up. Once the Russell comes up, now we have the others BTC right where it's kind of scary that it's happening exactly the same thing as the last two cycles. Which would put us at a 100 days run up into around December for this first top over here. So this shit is probably, who knows honestly, but it could play out exactly as it did before. If it does, this is going to be a killer win. I mean, this thing, if this thing goes back up to 55 cents essentially, I mean, you're looking at massive returns like this. He could literally pump this coin up all the way up here to 55 cents with only $90 million, and he's gonna have like 1.2 billion. So you'd make a killing. Let's just put it that way. Okay. It's a risk, but I think it's more of a risk to not be in this stuff. So do what you will with that, and I'll catch you later.